Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Constance the Reader. Okay, we literally just stopped the first week's vlog and we are picking up on the second week's vlog, okay? I read quite a few things, which you guys will see, but we'll just hold it up again. I read, what is this, 11? Read 11 volumes last week and they were all bangers, okay? I really enjoyed this TBR, so I'm happy about it. And we've got another, basically almost the same amount, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we've got 12 volumes here. Oh shit, no, we have 13, 14, 15. My bad, I did not count right. So minus these two, these are regular books. We're gonna try to get as much as this manga done for this week's vlog as possible, because after that, I have a much smaller stack in my office, but I'm still not done, right? Because this is not including the ones that have multiple volumes that I still want to get to, and I still have 16 volumes of Tokyo Re. So of the things I have that I've already read, Mad K has 2 more volumes. Coyote, I think I have 7 more volumes. Devil's Line, I can't remember how long this is, but I have a few more volumes of this in my office. I'm not going to go straight for this one just yet. We'll see how I feel, but Mad K and Coyote I will be continuing. So of what we read the first time, I only have 2 things that I need to continue. And then here we've got, let's just bring them on over. Okay, so Hellsing has 10 volumes. I'm not saying that I will absolutely finish the 10 volumes that I own, but I would like to at least read 5. Kaiju Kamui, yeah, there's only 1, but it's so funny, I got that in my Hansama box. I should have realized. Bride of the Death God, we only have 1 of these. Seraph of the Hen, I have 5 volumes of this. I actually think I may have more. They're just not in order. Like, I don't have them all up until a certain point. Well, we'll see. But at least for now, I'm definitely going to read the first one. Dead Man Wonderland and Death Note. These are completed series that I own. Death Note has like 8, and I don't remember how many volumes Dead Man Wonderland has, but we're going to be starting with these 2. If I'm really enjoying them, I'll probably bring the rest out, but I'm going to wait until I've gotten the stack down, because y'all saw the shit's insane. Kiss the Scars of the Girls, that's just the first volume. I pulled these out at the last minute, so I probably shouldn't prioritize them, but Can't Stop Cursing You is only 4 volumes, and I only have the first volume of The Strange House. I mean, people are already talking about this one in terms of like stuff that they recommend, so I actually really want to get into that one. And then these guys here, I only have 2 volumes of Monster, and then What Do You Call This? Trash. So I would really like to prioritize these for the second week of the month, and then if I want to pull the other ones, we will see. We will see, because I want to be good about it. But I just wanted to make this little intro kind of quick, but we're also going to talk about some things I bought today. So our friend Process is staying with us for his last week in Virginia, and then he goes back to Seattle. So we hung out today. We took him out to Cracker Barrel because he'd never been there for the first time. So we got to play like the fun little game. I'll ask if I can put the picture of him up. But he and I went to the bookstore, and then we went to Target to look for like Gundam cards. And obviously I got some manga because I'm not doing a book buying ban. I'm not, clearly. I've already fucked up. But I also got something else that was really cute, so I'm going to show you guys. Okay, so I got some new releases and some not so new. Now, I don't know that I'm going to read these because they fit, but I need to prioritize what I already pulled. And so I got Drac, the 3 volumes. The 3rd volume is the last volume, so I had wanted to see if I could get these used, but honestly, I don't care. I just bought them. They're really cute. I love the covers. I got approved for the first volume on NetGalley, but I didn't end up reading it, so I'm reading it physically now. And then Grand Familia. This one also fits for the spooky season. Leo, the young vampire heir to the Grand Familia, dreams of a world where supernatural beings and humans can coexist peacefully. However, when a turf war breaks out, he's thrust into a conflict that threatens to tear apart his dreams and familia. Without tarnishing the legacy of his powerful bloodline, Leo strives for peace in an underground world where conflict is currency. So that looks really good. And then I got 2 new releases. I Want to Love You, Kiss You, Bite You. Oh yeah. And then Our Dining Table, Seconds Please, Volume 1. I'm excited. I was looking for some other stuff, but they didn't end up having it. And then there was something I was also looking for, and then the fucking release date got changed, so what can you do? But when we went to Target, I found these. They were inexpensive, and they are Hello Kitty and Friends Skater Friends. You want a later boy, you gonna need a later boy. We got Pom Pom Purin and we got Kuromi. They also had Kuropi and then Hello Kitty. If I was gonna get one more, it would be Kuropi, because the first time I was ever introduced to Sanrio, and I didn't know that it was Sanrio at the time, I was really young, was Kuropi. I was obsessed with Kuropi. I did not know, I didn't really know what Sanrio was at the time, but I would get him. He looks so cute. He looks like he's very small, but I don't care. I mean, look how big Pom Pom Purin is. Oh, cute. And I want to know, do their little skateboards work? Ah, so adorable. But yeah, just so fucking cute. So adorable. But we're going to get into reading. I'm going to clean all this up because now I done made a mess. And I will see you guys a little later. I will say, I also want to watch some scary movies this month. Last night we watched Dangerous Animals. That was good. If you want something that's like a thriller, not so much super horror, but like definitely thriller, that one was so good. Definitely a surprise. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I screamed quite a bit, y'all. They got me with that. And you know what? The ocean is very scary, but this one was about sharks. And you would think, sharks? Yes. It was good. It definitely was good. So yes, we'll keep the intro short because I'm trying to keep these vlogs a little bit shorter for this month because we're going to be doing one every week. Yeah. And having like a nice put together freaking TBR. So I'm going to go put my stuff. I'm going to take my photos so I can put them on Instagram so I can keep doing the manga freakathon. And I will see you guys again in a minute. Okay, everybody. It's Wednesday night. I have been working, so I haven't read too much, but I finished Gannibal and I finished Manhole. Okay, haven't started Summertime Rendering yet, but we will be starting that hopefully after we talk about this, but I probably won't finish it. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. Manhole, I just finished. This is absolutely fucking disgusting, and I genuinely want to finish this. I think it's like 2 more. I don't know if it's only 3 volumes or what, but it's a total of 3 volumes on Hoopla. Let me see. Maybe it'll say final. Maybe it'll say final volume. You never know. Yeah. Okay. So it's 3 volumes. I am so tempted to finish this, but this is absolutely fucking disgusting. I didn't realize that this was very much so body horror. I figured that it was going to be something fucking disgusting because I don't like the look of that cover. I don't. Something about that bothers me. But the fact that this has to do with parasites was obviously a shock to me. Because again, I know I sound like a broken record, but I very rarely ever read the synopsis, and I'll be honest with you, sometimes I'll read the synopsis and I forget what the fuck synopsis said. I have to actually read it myself to like so I don't even know if in the synopsis it talks about parasites, but this, I just saw a scene that was like almost a little bit too much for me. Okay, and it had to do with mosquitoes, and y'all have heard me plenty of times be very disgusted by bugs. You know, when a fly is in my house, it makes me sick. I absolutely hate mosquitoes and ants. I think that they're so disgusting. And this and then a parasite, it's just awful. But like the concept of this is so cool. It's like a man who, what I know so far is there's a man who is introducing a parasite into this community, we'll just say. And his mentality behind it is that it acts like almost a more evolved version of like a lobotomy, right? Because with a lobotomy, you really are like reduced to, I hate to put it this way because it sounds so awful, but you know, you really are kind of reduced to just like a breathing sack of flesh, you know. Oh God, I hate to say that, but like you know, you can't talk anymore. You can't take care of yourself anymore. And that's the point. It's supposed to like really, really, really further take you take you down. I don't know the right words to use, but it's horrifying. It's horrifying that this was ever like a practice that was used. Ugh, disgusting. But, you know, in this case though, the parasite, it lives in your brain and it attacks I can't remember the part of your brain that like has to do with like desires and stuff. And his mentality around it is like, okay, we use this to on some of the people who are some of the dregs of society, the people who are abusers, the people who are killers, the people who are X, Y, and Z. And if they do not follow, you know, down these like desires and things that are like causing them to like gamble and stuff, they can live in harmony with this parasite in their brain. And then they can still function. So it's like, it's better. I don't want to say because there's nothing good. There's literally nothing good about having a lobotomy, and there's nothing good about what's going on here. But his whole thing is like, well, it's going to kind of like reprogram you in a way to act right, or else you see the consequence. So the only issue is that this thing like moves very quickly. Okay. It's not just like, oh, you get a cut, and if someone bled into your cut who was infected with the parasite, you will then, no, like it is, I'm sure we're getting to the point where you just cough in someone's direction and you will be infected. But the body horror, like the parasite in the face and the eye coming out, that's disgusting. The mosquitoes have now been introduced to the situation. I don't fucking like mosquitoes. So yes, it's only 3 volumes, but with how fucking absolutely disgusting that is, I don't know. I'm not going to be getting into I definitely don't think that I can stomach reading the next 2 volumes right away. So I will not be doing that, but really interesting start, I would definitely say. I can see why this is something that people recommend. I think this is really, really good for the like spooky season, but only if you're looking for something that does contain like body horror and parasites and stuff. I know that sometimes that's just like too much for people, and quite frankly, it was almost too much for me. And then you have Gannibal. Okay. I don't remember how many. I know it says long. Let's see. Let's see if it also says at the end. Okay, I don't know. But, oh, what does that say about Gannibal? Oh, Lord. Is this a show now? Well, I have to watch the show. But anyway, Gannibal, also interesting, but it's slow going. The first volume, the way it ended, it is actually enough for me to want to continue. Basically, this very, very small, like, rural village in the mountains, you know, you've got normal people, and then you've got this family. I think it's the Goto family, and they are clearly very, very secretive, very, I don't know what the right word is, but it's a tight-knit family that doesn't, that's not too kind to newcomers, okay? And we are introduced to the new, like, constable in town. He's now here with his wife and daughter, replacing the former constable who went missing. But he went missing under mysterious circumstances. He was claiming that this family, the Goto family, they're cannibals, and that's something like fucking crazy is going on in this community. So the new constable is very, very freaked out. Obviously, this family is very, very creepy. They do not take kindly to the police. I mean, who does? But, you know, obviously y'all up to some crazy shit. Y'all killing people, I believe, and eating people. So, I mean, do you really have any right to be, you know, shitty to people? I mean, he might be a police officer, but he's still a man at the end of the day when it comes to all of the crazy shit y'all got going on. I digress. So, yeah, he's trying to figure out like what the fuck happened to the last dude. But also, oh yeah, I don't really want to be on the bad side of these people, but they won't kind of like I mean, they are very scary. So they're threatening him, but also kind of like bringing him into the fold. There's one person who's a part of this family. I think his name is Kaisuke, and he is trying to approach things a little bit differently, I guess, than the last constable here. And he and maybe like a handful of people within the family agrees with him and the way that he's trying to do things differently, but everybody else is like, no, that's not how we do things. They would rather just kill the fucking constable, and God knows what they're gonna do to the wife and daughter. And that's the thing that I'm like, oh, I don't want to see something happen to them, because it seems like it's escalating to that. But we do kind of get a little glimpse of what seems to be the death of this former constable. But the former constable had his daughter here with him, and his daughter is much older than the new constable's daughter. So she has a little bit more like agency, and she, is coming around, and she's like she looks like she might be either at the young age of like 17, 18, or she might be 21. She just looks very young, so she could be either. But yeah, she is trying to warn the constable, but also trying to ask him to please, like, find out what happened to my dad. And then the very end of the volume is freaky. Like, we don't know how it ends. I don't know what happens to the constable. So I want to continue on with it. But like I said, it's kind of slow going, but not in a bad way. It's just like, obviously it's instead of 3 volumes, it's 6+ possibly. So we've got a little bit more like background to get through. Whereas like in Manhole, everything's happening very quickly. And I like both. I really do. Less disgusting. Like, obviously, once we get into seeing like possibly people get butchered here, because that's clearly the family's fucking eating people. Okay, clearly. I don't know why we're acting like y'all aren't gonna fucking eat somebody. That's what's happening. That might get a little nasty, but I'm certain it's not going to be as bad as the mosquitoes and the and the parasite. There's just no fucking way, because that's fucking disgusting. But it is getting, well, that's not done late, but it's not damn. I'm going to be eating dinner now. Get a little, Red Baron pizza in the oven. Watch something on the TV, and then I'm going to maybe read a little bit more, go to sleep. I'm trying to push through all of the reading. I don't know if I'm going to might be a good thing though. I'm not sitting around talking for 30 fucking minutes. As I usually do, because y'all know I'm really bad about that. Because like we said, we're trying to keep these vlogs shorter so I can get them out every week. But yes, so I haven't really touched any of the stuff that we talked about earlier, but I want to get into it, but I do want to finish these things first. Because obviously, like, these things return, it gets returned on in 5 days. So I need to at least start this first volume. I don't want to waste these borrows, y'all, because I got 6 more. I gotta finish this one, and I gotta start Laws of Depravity. I haven't even started it, so I will get back to you guys a little bit later. I'll see you soon. Welcome back. Okay, so, all right. So, Kiss the Scars of the Girls. This was cute. I could see myself continuing on with this, but I don't know that I will. Oh, God, it's so tough because I don't know. What is this? Yen Press? I don't know, girl. I might have to find this online later and not collect it. But it was really cute. So basically, vampires exist. They're going to school separate from humans, right? And when they turn 14 in this all-girls school, you basically now get a big sister who will teach you how to be a vampire, right? Because it's not until 14 that you start to develop a taste for blood. So you kind of live normally, even though you're a vampire, until you get to that certain age. Boom, boom, boom. So Emily is freshly 14, and her big sister is Eve, or Evie. Evie, right? Or is it Eve? I can't remember. She calls it like... Oh, you don't even put the name on the damn back, girl. Do you? No, you don't. Anyway. Okay, we're just going to say Eve. I think they go between the names. Anyway. And of course, she's a little surly, right? She's the black cat energy and she's the golden retriever. Obviously, there's something going on from the past with her. It seems like she probably had a big sister who ended up dying, possibly, you know what I'm saying? Getting killed by the vampire hunters, because they do exist in here. So, of course, Emily, being the golden retriever energy, she is desperate to have like the big sister experience. And the thing that's really intriguing to me is at the very end. Ooh, sorry, I mean to yawn in y'all's face like that. The thing that was intriguing is that, what am I trying to say? Oh, the way it ends is someone kind of experienced, I guess, something similar to her, although like we don't know for sure. Basically, one of Emily's friends also turns 14, also gets a big sister, is being taught how to drink blood, basically outside of the protected border from where like they attend school and humans, right? And girl, there's been a vampire attack again. Not a vampire attack, I'm sorry, a vampire hunter attack. And this sets off Emily's friend down a path. I'm not sure what's going to happen with her, but I do want to read and see what's going on with that. But then she also has these other fucking weird ass friends. She's got a friend named Valentina or Violetta, who's a bitch. I'm sorry. I know the girl's 14, but I gotta call it like I sees it. And she's rude. Like, she is so mean. She's just a nasty spirited person. But she's obsessed with Emily, so obviously we know Emily's like the center of everything. Everybody adores her. Everybody wants to be with her. We get it. So yeah. Blah blah blah. This is cute. I'm intrigued, so I would like to continue, but I'm not like, like if this was a standalone, I would be fine. If I never read another volume, I would be fine. But one that was good, Can't Stop Cursing You. So this is only 4 volumes, if I remember correctly. And I was struggling to remember, when the fuck did I buy this? I bought this last year, I think. So last year or the year before. It's hard to keep it in track. I think it was last year when that one Barnes & Noble was closing and they were doing like 20% off like the inventory. I kept seeing this for the longest time. It was really intriguing to me. I really like the cover. They're all very pretty and colorful. So I decided, I'm going to go for it. And I have not, I don't remember reading the synopsis. I didn't remember anything. And I just happened to pull it thinking something looks like this should be Halloween themed. And yes, it is. And dude, this is so good. I'm glad that I have all 4 volumes because I simply must continue on with this. This was so good. Basically, let's just read the back, because I might be annoying about reading this one or explaining this one. It was just an ordinary day at Yami High until it wasn't. A ringing cell phone and the splatter of blood marked the beginning of a deadly game. The rules: contractor Mikia has 30 days to curse kill 30 people or meet a fate worse than death. On the other side, curse breaker Sayama must identify the killer without falling prey to one of Mikia's curse kills. Only time will tell who will emerge victorious. So the fact that everything happened in this one volume was really cool. Like, I was actually wondering, are we going to wrap this up throughout the whole 4 volumes or what? Or is there going to be like 2 different, situations going on? No, you wrap everything up in this. And with the way things are flowing, I'm crossing my fingers, but I will know for sure, or I'll have a better like feeling at the end of volume 2. But I have a feeling that for something that's short, I think it will be paced really fucking well, right? Because the curse breaker that we're following, Sayama, he's really interesting. He seems really cool. I like what he's got going on. But so like the next 2 volumes, I think we're going to keep following, cases of these fucking people, making fucking pacts with curse gods and, doing shit like this. But even though it is going to have different killers, I guess, it's still leading us to something like a big conclusion, like the big bad, big bad guy at the end. and I'm hoping that it is paced so well that it's just like, oh my God, I wish it was longer, but like it satisfied me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of hinted at that there's something bigger. Maybe it's the curse god, all to rule all curse gods, you know what I mean, that we're coming after, something like that. But this was good. Sorry to ramble, but this was really good. I enjoyed this. Oh my God, I'm already yawning. Okay. I caught up on stuff, so we're gonna do like a little moment to talk about some of the other stuff I read. Oh my God. Okay, actually, let me get my iPad, girl. Let me get my iPad, because I've caught up on things on Lezen, and I don't know what the hell. I don't think we've talked about much about Lezen, but this is still a reading vlogging. It was going to be shorter, than usual. I'm saying I'm not going to try to ramble as much as I do, but I've read some bangers, if I do say so myself. Okay, let's see. Let me see. So is it this one? History. No, that's literally. Okay. Some of it's not on here, but okay. First up, Swallow You Whole. Now. Okay. Okay now. All right, girl. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. And like I said last time, the art is just getting insaner, like even more insane than before, right? Like I already liked the art style, but dude, putting their whole fucking pussy in it right now, because this shit is, oh my God, it's so good. I'm sorry to be so vocal, but goddamn, it is looking amazing. And I will be really interested to see like if the creator like does something. If they like keep on this like kind of dark Omegaverse type situation, that would still be really fun to read. But like this is the same person who did Full Volume, and I really like how Full Volume was, but it's like I don't know. Anyway, no, I said I wasn't gonna ramble, but Swallow You Whole is getting so good. As I said, I may have missed something when I first got into it, because I do not remember this being an Omegaverse when I was reading it in the beginning. Like I just wasn't picking up on that for some reason. But it's so fucking good. Okay. A Crown of Thorns. Oh my God. Oh my God. So on Twitter, I don't think I'm following the creator, but I'm following someone who like updates on it. And I can't remember if I can go back. I'll try to put like the other translated name for A Crown of Thorns. Reading that, I was like, oh yeah, nothing good is coming. Nothing good is going to happen in the story with a fucking title like that. Okay. A Crown of Thorns makes you think, maybe something. No, I do not think that. I've never read something that ended in a way that was just like so bleak. You know what I'm saying? Like there's always something that kind of happens. Okay. No, actually I take that back. The only thing I've read so far that's been like so bleak, maybe there's a few other things, but the main one that comes to mind is The Heart of the Lotus. But that's only season 1 right now. And girl, I've caught up on that, girl. The new season came out. We're getting a lot of background. Oh my God. It's like sad. Obviously it doesn't make up for all the things that the main male lead does, but it's just sad to see, what he endured as a child. But, that also could end well. Like that they could have a redemption in that story, as it sometimes happens. But like for the end of season 1, that's the only one like, okay, that hasn't been, I don't see how that could go really well. Or Slammer Dogs, that's another one. But again, they're not complete. And A Crown of Thorns, I have no idea how this could ever end. Well, I don't know. You know what? Let me just stop, because I know I'm about to ramble. Okay. Yes, ma'am. So good. Girl, she got him on hands and knees, booty tooted up, going to town on it, nipples being scratched and everything. And then she just like pulls her hands off. She's like, all right, now eat it, girl. Oh my God. Yes, ma'am. Give me so many more episodes of that in one sitting. Like this, Yes Ma'am will be one that I revisit many a time, okay? Because it is doing exactly what I wanted to do. And I like that. You want something that's like real freaky, straight, and I don't really read many of those, but freaky and straight, Yes Ma'am. Yes Ma'am is everything. Okay. Then we have Private Tutoring. That was good. Okay, whatever. And then, oh my God, You Are So Lovely. That's right. Oh shit, I forgot. I can't show that one. That's right. My bad. I think it's the final. That was okay. Girl, I'm so behind. Okay. Damn it. I did it again. Okay, so You Are So Lovely. I think season 1 just ended. Beautiful Nightmare, that's another freaky one, but it's the Beautiful Nightmare, it's still fun to read, but it's nowhere near as good as Yes Ma'am in my opinion. Um oh God, and then Red Thread Quest came back. I was so happy to see that. I did not think that was going to come back so soon, and I certainly cannot click that one because that one is just But then let me see because you're not on here. I read something. Okay, I didn't purchase anything, so maybe that's what it is. Maybe that one's just so freaky that it's not going to show me. Let me see. Hold on. I read, what is it? Dark Fall. Now, you know I fucking read you. Okay. For some reason, it's not showing on here. I'm going to put the picture up. I'm pretty sure the title was Dark Fall, but I read it on my phone, so trying to navigate the fucking Lezen app sucks dick. You have to fucking get on the website for you to fucking see anything that's explicit half the damn time. But Dark Fall, oh my God. I don't know that we even need to really discuss that one, but that might fall into what's going on in October, to be quite honest with you. Other than that, have I read anything else? I don't think so. I mean, I know I've read other stuff, but I can't remember. I read some real freaky stuff, I think, or I just have a ton of stuff open on my cell phone. I think that's what it is. I have almost 300 tabs open on my phone. I'm sick of myself. I really am. I truly, truly, truly am sick of myself. But, I wonder, did y'all hear him sneeze just now? Anyway, yeah, we had some good things to read. I'm going to keep reading. I need to get into summertime rendering and, the many volumes on the other side of me. I will say today has been really, really good. And I think I told you guys that our friend Process is staying with us for the week until he travels back to the West Coast. It's been really nice to get to spend so much time with someone, but like we're obviously still like kind of doing our own things. Like I'm still working, he's still working. Devin luckily is about to start a new job, which is really awesome. So he has a week off, which is really cool, but it's been really nice. And we're going to have like a going away dinner tomorrow night. I don't know that I will film that because there's going to be a lot more people and then children there. So I might not film that part, but I am excited. Like tomorrow's going to be really nice and tomorrow's Friday. So it'll be nice to have like a nice going away dinner, but it's not like the last night, he doesn't leave for a few more days. And then Saturday I'm going to a bachelorette party. So that'll be fun. I don't know if I'll film that. I might like try to do a little bit, but like I'm not trying to invade my friend's privacy. It's her day. And then Sunday is the bridal shower. And I certainly will not be filming that because then there would be like a bunch of older women there. I don't want to be putting them on my video and shit. But yeah. I hope for us to talk one more time. I really, 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 really do. I also need to find a good scary movie to put on TV. Cause damn girl, it's it's 10 o'clock now, but, yeah, we got some more stuff to get into. I still need to finish Murderous Llewellyn's Candlelit Dinner, and I need to start Bastard. I'm kind of behind. I need to get into people's recommendations actually now, cause wait, Murderous, okay, I was recommended that, and Bastard. So those are recommendations. Have I read anything that anyone else? Oh yeah, Manhole and Cannibal, because people did recommend that to me. Actually, I can just look at the damn notes app. That's a better idea, so I get everything right. That's right. Okay, so Summertime Rendering is one that was recommended. Go, 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 Ghost. And Thrum. Yeah, and I think I got Thrum. So, yeah, I'm actually, you know what? Let's do this. Okay, we'll do this. So, we've read Manhole. We've read Cannibal. Okay, I won't click this yet because we're not done. But I need to hop onto it. So, yeah. Actually, still not that bad. This doesn't really count Tokyo Ghoul Re. I just put it on there because it's manga. But yeah. Yep. Everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to go well. I will see you guys soon. I hope to have more to talk about. And I don't think there's anything else I have to talk about. I don't think so. There's things I need to catch up on. Oh yeah, 18's Bed. Girl, I caught up on that. What is going on there? But that's not even really that interesting. 2020. Oh, I need to finish that. I didn't finish that episode. Oh my God. That's right. I was in a restaurant and I didn't get to finish that one because they were about to get real fucking freaky. Yes. Oh yeah. I almost forgot about that. I need to catch up on Full Book. I need to catch up on Toy Daddy because something crazy happened. Okay, someone's fucking putting their fucking fingers all up in the dude's mouth while he's sleeping. What is going on? And the women are feral in that for the stepdad girl. And he is fine. He is fine. And he does want to get slapped around. So damn near, dare I say perfect? No. No man is perfect except for Debbie. But can the women control themselves? Can they control themselves? I mean, to put your fingers in the mouth of a sleeping person, what the fuck is going on? And then what else happened? Oh, and then I need to catch up on Another Woman's Man because in the last episode, she went on a business trip with her boss and she, sabotaged the damn car so they could have to stay overnight so she can put the talisman under his pillow. Bitch. And I don't know what I'm hoping for, but I got so activated all over again in terms of being angry when I saw some K or J drama thing on TikTok, when someone does like a dumb AI voice over like explaining it. It was a very similar situation of a woman who goes after men who are in relationships and that's her whole thing. And once she gets them, she discards them. And I'm like, the sinister evil within you to do that is just, it is so sick to me. And honestly, it's like, it's really hard to find anything to enjoy about that. Like, unless she's getting her ass beat, okay? Unless that woman is getting her ass beat, somebody must put hands on her for that type of diabolical spirit. Unless that's happening, I can't enjoy that, okay? I don't even care if she goes on to continue after she gets her ass beat. She just needs to get her ass beat, okay? She could learn absolutely nothing from getting backhanded, the taste obliterated from her mouth, okay? It's the fact that she would just do it in general. Like, I just need to see that happen. And if I don't see or read that happening, then I'm not getting anything out of this because I can't let it stand. I'm sorry. That's like just one thing that's like, I don't like that. I don't like that sinister energy. Like, I'm going to go after someone who's in a relationship. All right, don't let me not get on a tangent because I will, because I have thoughts and I have feelings. It's not happened to me, but that doesn't matter. Like, it's happened to people I know, and there's one thing that I don't play about is my friends and my family. So, if it's happened to you, just know I'd be on your side. But blah blah blah, all that to say, I've talked way too much, as I do, and we're going to get back into the reading. Okay. No more rambling. We're good. Okay. I'm actually further in this than I thought I was, but I've started Summertime Rendering. Sorry, my lights on a timer. I had to get into this. United States catching a stray, y'all. Not too good with going slow. You think you could just do it right now? You got a gun and all. A quiet night like this, won't the gunshot be really loud? This isn't the United States. Exactly. Now, you know what? I can appreciate a zinger, but damn. But this is really good. I wonder if you heard my stomach growl just now. Anyway, this is really good so far. I didn't realize that this was like almost a time loop thing. So that is interesting. And I didn't know what to make of it at first. Obviously not having read the fucking synopsis before. But this I think will be very, very good. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I don't know. We'll see. But I've got, I got some ways to go. But so far, so good. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Okay, so today is Tuesday the 14th. I haven't talked to y'all in a minute. And I feel really bad about that. And I just uploaded my first week's October vlog. And I realized there are 3 volumes I did not talk about. I don't know what happened. I think because that, obviously last week was the week that our friend Process was here staying with us. I think I read them the first night he got here. And I forgot to talk about them because so much was happening, right? But I will say, last week was really fun. I was very overwhelmed. So that's another reason why I didn't end up filming. We had to obviously host our friend. It was really nice having him here. But of course, yesterday was the final day. We had like a family breakfast with our other friends, Jenny and Phil and their children. And obviously I cried. And then I cried when we were saying goodbye. I cried in the car. So yesterday was just like super busy. We ran a bunch of errands, but the week was really great. It definitely felt like it snuck up on me that he was actually leaving, and it almost didn't feel real that he was leaving. But at the end of the day, like, we're going to be able to visit him in Seattle. We will have him in our life for the rest of our lives. And I'm just very thankful that, oh, don't want to cry. I'm just very thankful that despite the circumstances of him having to leave, I'm really thankful that he was in our life here for the short period of time that he was in Virginia. So yeah, it's hard to say goodbye, but it's okay. He is such a good person, and I'm really thankful that for everything he was going through, losing our friend, his partner, that he was also there for us. So, yeah, I'm gonna miss you. Obviously, we're gonna talk all the time. We're following each other's social media. We're gonna see you. We're gonna see you next year. But it's still hard. You know, you get older, and when you make friends, that's crazy. It's crazy to think like how hard it can be to make friends when you get older. But I feel so thankful, and spending time like having special time with him for a week, it really it not even a side that I hadn't seen before, but just like being around Process makes me want to be more open and want to be more social and stuff, because just us going out, him just striking up conversations with strangers, that was awesome. That was awesome to see. But sorry to gush about my friend. But I will miss you if you're watching. I love you. Obviously, you know that. I will tell you anyway. But that was a great time last week. And then I went to my friend Toria's bachelorette party and her bridal shower. That was crazy getting to all of those events. But man, it ended up being so fun. We went to this cool restaurant. It's indoor, outdoor. Like, I think it's called Bramley Park. I've never been there. It's in Richmond. The food was good. Even though I do think I got a little bit, I definitely had a tummy ache from the food. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows, girl? I struggled that night, but it's okay. And then we went to Hotel Green, and it's like this really cool, like indoor putt-putt. It's giving like haunted hotel Saw vibes almost. And that was really fun. I'd never done anything like that before. And the bridal shower was also very lovely. Toria's friends are so kind. I only really had like face-to-face time with one friend previously, so getting to see her again was really great, but then also getting to meet all of Toria's other friends was really awesome. And weirdly enough, one of her friends works with my mom, so that was really crazy. But just to get that out of the way, last week was good. I'm sorry that I didn't update you guys, and I'm sorry I missed talking about these 3 things, but we're gonna talk about them really quick, and then the other things I read, and then we're going to read, and then it will be the end of the video, because like I said, I'm trying to do these like weekly to make them a little shorter for you guys, also shorter for me, because when they're over an hour long, it takes forever for that shit to save, upload, everything. So this has been much easier. And it's like, it's weird because I feel like I remember sitting here talking about them, but maybe I just didn't have my phone recording. What? That's crazy. But I read Monster Tribe Volume 1. This was a Han Sama release given to me in my Han Sama pick. This was really good. I really enjoyed this. So I'll read the back. 10 is a high school boy who wants nothing more than an average peaceful life, which is tough for a half-human from a family full of monsters. After a portal is torn open between the monster world and their own, 10 and his brothers are pressed to hunt down the invaders threatening humanity, with the promise that success means getting a wish granted. But can they safely see their mission through? And will 10 ever achieve the normal days he's dreamed of? This is awesome. I definitely want to continue with this series. Don't know how long it will be, but I will be reading every volume. Like it said, 10 is a high school guy who is half human, half demon, or half monster. He has really cool powers, and so do the rest of his siblings. He has 3 other brothers, and one of them is his twin. And their father is kind of I kind of felt like he was giving like Lucifer vibes, but also the dad from Soul Eater, right? So the Grim Reaper of the Shinigami. The dad kind of gave me that vibe, which was really fun. All the brothers are really interesting and very cool. This ended on an interesting cliffhanger, so I definitely want to continue with it. But yes, 10, he's a high schooler. He just wants a normal life. He actually wants this wish that he could hope to be granted for him to just be human. And I think what's going to end up happening is, since it seemed as though the family was kind of estranged from each other, they're kind of forced back together now, because randomly portals to like the other, we'll just say the underworld or whatever, where the monsters are, open up, and he and his family and probably others like him are there to stop those monsters from like invading the real world. And that's normal. That's exactly what they're used to. But there is somebody who is actually creating portals, which is flooding in more and more monsters. So it seems to be a bit harder to get that under control. And that's going to be interesting, because now that the brothers are kind of forced around each other, I think that will change his wish. I don't think he's going to want to be human completely anymore, but it's good. I really like this. I would absolutely continue on with the series. And then Boys Abyss, I read the first 2 volumes. I have to finish the series. I don't know that it's complete or not, but I have to keep reading. This ended on a cliffhanger, so to speak, but this was really good. It's also very dark and very serious. It really had me emotional, but it's also dealing with some dark topics. So definitely look at trigger warnings before you start this. You're talking about abuse, suicide, other things going on as well. But I'll read the back of this for you guys. So, Ryuji's life is as miserable as the small town he can't escape. The most interesting thing that's ever happened there is a double suicide down by the river. Does Ryuji have any power over his fate, or will he too fall into the abyss? Ryuji's mother is checked out. He's stuck caring for his grandmother with dementia, and his childhood friend treats him like a lackey. Then beautiful big city pop star Nagi miraculously shows up working the counter at the local convenience store. Ryuji is starstruck. When she offers him the ultimate way out of his claustrophobic existence, will he succumb to the temptation? So Ryuji is a young guy. I believe he's actually in middle school. He's pretty young. and he's just kind of like living day by day, doing what he can. But the biggest thing that seems to be weighing him down is feeling like he has to almost not even finish school so he can just get a job and help his mom. They are taking care of a grandmother, his grandmother who has dementia, and then his older brother who is a shut-in. He's very abusive physically and verbally. And his mom, as it said, she's checked out. He starts to pick up on things after the fact, after these other situations happen, where he starts to realize his mom is kind of taking advantage of him in a way. She also convinces someone who's been abusing him to give him a job, and that's not good. Okay, so once Ryuji runs into the former pop star, the former idol in his small town, he's like, this is crazy. He and his best female friend are obsessed with her in the idol group, and he just cannot believe that she's here. So we're about to get into some more spoilers. I'll try to keep it short because, again, I don't want this to be too long, but basically something seems kind of off about her. She ends up spending time with him and she ends up sleeping with him. But this is a woman who is in her 20s, okay? So this is not okay, first and foremost. That dynamic is totally fucked up. But they end up having sex. He finds out, oh my God, she's married. And the fucking husband, comes home, is just like, he doesn't even care. And this is such a big, like, defining moment for him. And it just creates a snowball effect of other stuff. The backdrop to this is this story, this book that was written by an author who we end up finding out used to live in this small town. And it was about a double suicide pact, basically. And you've got Ryuji, his female friend, I can't remember her name. She's obsessed with this book. And now this book is almost like going around being read by people. And it is possibly going to be turned into like a movie that's going to be filmed in this community. So it's like this suicide pact is definitely haunting the town as we're reading it. But Ryuji is, now that he's had this experience and he's having more experiences with older women, which is really disgusting, it's definitely reminding me of Sensei's Pious Lie. But he's starting to break. And it's like, I think for the longest time, Ryuji has been able to separate and maybe compartmentalize, if that's the right word. He's been able to push the sadness and the anger and the frustration and the loathing to the back of his mind and just kind of keep chugging along. But now that he has been exposed to these things and people are having more conversations with him about like expectations and like you could have something different, it's really, really affecting him, so much so that he considers killing himself. And it has been very, very wild. The way that the second volume ended, we find out that, again, we're still in spoiler mode here. We found out that the man that was married to that idol is actually the author of this book. And he's an older man married to someone in their early 20s. Then Ryuji's female friend ends up finding out that that's the guy, that's the author. And I'm a little concerned because it's kind of implied that something inappropriate is about to happen between the young girl who's in middle school, mind you. They're not in high school yet. Like, she and him are young. It's kind of, I'm picking up an implication that something inappropriate is about to happen between that author and her, because he's like, do you want to be my muse? And I don't know what that means. I'm not sure what that means yet, but I'm scared. I'm scared for her. Scared for her well-being. But this is one of those psychological kind of ones that I really do enjoy, that really kind of have you sitting and thinking about like what is going on. So I do want to finish those. Again, I don't know how long the series is, but when I was at Second and Charles the other day, I think the most recent volume number I saw was like 7 or 8. So it's chugged along now. I still haven't managed to find this used, but I do have a fucking Viz subscription, so I might as well just go through the Viz app to read it I'm sure I have to pay for these because they're more adult themes, but still. So I'm really sorry I forgot to talk about those in the last video, but now we're going to talk about these two that I did end up reading that I didn't end up talking to you guys about, but of last week. And then we're going to read a little bit more and then we'll be done. So I read volume 2 of On and Off, Work-Life Imbalance. This is really good. I have to continue the series. I would highly recommend it. It is about our two main characters. It's a man and a woman. I can't remember their names. I'm sorry. But they are office workers by day, and when they clock out, they are their true selves. So the female main character is more punk, a little bit more androgynous, and our main male character, he really enjoys cross-dressing in very frilly, cute Lolita outfits. When they see each other off the clock, when they're at work, they don't recognize each other, but they're fascinated by the other's fashion, which I think is just really, really cool. When I think about like my sister and I, obviously I'm a bit more alternative than my sister, but I think we have like great respect for each other's sense of style and hobbies and stuff. So they have a chance encounter, they like each other, but it's like they are so different from who they are when they're at work that they can't even tell if the other one is like the gender that they're presenting, right? So the main male character, you can't tell if he is a woman or a man, and you can't tell necessarily if the main female character is a man or a woman. So in this one, we also meet our main female character's friend, and he too is like them. He has his daytime corporate life, corporate look, and then this is what he looks like when he's not on the clock. And I'm just really enjoying meeting these people. It really sucks that, you know, for some people you can't incorporate that into your everyday life because it clearly wouldn't change anything. They still are hardworking people. It wouldn't matter if they looked like this, but it's going to be interesting if we start to meet more and more people, because as of right now, we haven't even seen if our main male character has any friends. And I'm sure he does, but I don't think he has the same type of friendships that we're going to see our main female character have. You know, it's a little bit reluctant here. I think that he's going to end up having feelings for her, and she will end up having feelings for the other guy. But, and here's kind of a spoiler, so if you don't want to hear, you know, scooch down, wait for the next one. So the way this ends, it ends on a cliffhanger because the main male character figures out who she is. And he basically uses her real name instead of the fake names that they have for their personas, I guess you could say. And she gives him a look of utter, this is her when she is at work. So it's so interesting because she's so unapproachable at work that, you know, you wouldn't even think that this way that she dresses is any different. It's just like a physical representation of like who she is, but she's still like very kind in her punk persona. I don't want to say persona, but that's the only word I can really think of, so I apologize. And but it's so funny because same thing, even when he's at work, he's loved. Everyone thinks he's so cute. He's so approachable. And it's the same thing when he is in Lolita, except he gets to really be who he is. And same thing with her. So I'm enjoying this. It's a very, very cute story. And then I read The Strange House. Have to read more of these. I don't know how long this is. I will have to find out the film because this also was adapted into a horror film. I have to watch that. This is that fucking good. So I'll read the back. A room that shouldn't be there. I've always had a fascination with the occult. You might even call it my specialty. I've been brought in as a consultant on many supernatural and strange mysteries, but nothing could have prepared me for this house. It seemed so ordinary at first, except for the one room. It had no doors, no windows, and was tucked away, leaving anyone to think it was just a wall. I knew that there was something more to it. It shouldn't be there. It shouldn't exist. And yet, just what is this house and what dark secrets does it hold? So, basically, our main character, he has a friend who reaches out to him. That friend was going to buy a house, but he didn't end up going through with it, or he was on the fence at first, because when he saw the floor plan, he was like, something doesn't seem right. So he reaches out to our main character, is like, hey, you should look into this because it seems kind of funky. Because he's a writer, he writes like occult and paranormal stuff. So he sees the floor plan, is totally confused, reaches out to his other friend who's an architect, and is like, do you see something weird about this? The architect friend is he has many theories, but essentially, as it said in the synopsis, there's this house, and it's 2 stories, and on the second floor, there's a room that is in the center of the second floor that you can't tell from the outside that there's a room here, right? There are no windows. There's only like a door leading to it, but you wouldn't know that there could be another person in there. You only see what the people who made the house want you to see. And because the main character talks to an architect, the architect has these theories like, what about this? What about this? Well, this doesn't really make sense. What's this like room that doesn't seem to make any sense here? So it's really, really interesting because this theory that the architect has may very well be true. This might be a murder house, if you will. And then after our main character starts to write about this house, he puts it out into the world. Someone reaches out to him and says, hey, I think there was another house just like this, and I think that my husband went there, and I haven't seen him since. So it's really interesting. Is this family that has built these houses this murderous family that's doing this whole elaborate thing to kill people? Why would they need to do that? There's a child involved. What the hell's going on with the child? Is the child like a little demon child? Who knows? But I have to keep reading. I have to keep reading this because it is that good. So, what will I be reading for you guys now? Sanctify. We're getting into her. Can't Stop Cursing You Volume 2, because the first one was just simply too good. I also want to get into School Lives 1 and 2. This is going to be a reread for me. And you know what? I'm feeling like I can start something else, because I am getting kind of slow going through these, y'all. I only have 1 day for this second vlog. Let's crack open Death Note, because I do want to read the series, and I did finally pull out Feed. So we hopefully will. Oh shit. Okay, I almost forgot. Okay, I have one more thing to talk about. I do this every time. Okay. So I just finished listening to, let's get to the Hoopla app. Hoopla app. So I was hoping I go a little faster. I kind of keep singing apparently. Okay. So I finished How Bad Things Can Get by Darcy Coates. Like literally right before I started filming. I only had like 3 hours left to finish, and I just chugged through it when I was editing the video. This was good. I would definitely say, this is a 4.5. I would even go 5 stars, but I'm gonna go 4.5 for now. I really like Darcy Coates. I like her paranormal stuff, but I also like this stuff, which is just murderous slasher stuff. If you're looking for something that is almost relevant to now, right? Because let's read it back. It was supposed to be a party of the century, miles of idyllic white sand beaches, lush jungle foliage, and a dark legend nobody dreamed might be all too true. When an online influencer and several hundred of his most loyal fans land on Prosperity Island, the plan is simple: 5 days of elaborate games, drinking, and sunstans fun. A week in paradise should have been a welcome respite. The only survivor of an infamous cult, Ruth wants nothing more than to keep her head down and not draw attention. She spent decades outrunning her blood-soaked childhood, and her identity is a closely held secret. But then the true story of the island is revealed, along with its sinister connection to Ruth's past. As guests go missing and games turn deadly, Ruth and the rest of the attendees are forced to question whether they've really been invited to paradise, or whether something much darker and far bloodier is waiting for them just beyond the bonfire's light. So good. Such a good thriller. I would even go so far as to say it's a bit of a slasher. Not I think by traditional slasher standards, but once the cult killings start happening, it's a fucking bloodbath, y'all. And this was good. So why I was saying it's kind of relevant is, like I said before, that YouTube star to me is giving Mr. Beast vibes. Using money to kind of push content, and then the content gets the money to then make more content. I mean, you know, it's just like a circle basically. But he does not care about who gets hurt. And what we end up finding out about why he doesn't seem to care pissed me the hell off, and is exactly the issue with capitalist greed in this country, especially with some influencers, and that they don't care who they hurt. They don't care who ends up fucked. It doesn't matter, because if they get content, or if they can hide the bad stuff that they do, they will do it. But it's so good. Basically, Ruth, she is like the sole survivor of this cult for many, many years ago. For what she understood, she was the only survivor, and that most of the stuff had been like sealed and hidden, and no one should know who she is. So when she gets to this island with her other like 3 friends, her boyfriend and his 2 friends, she is trying to be as like nonchalant and cool as possible, but creepy things start to happen, and she's like, I don't know why, but this feels like people know me. It seems like people know who I am. Something seems very eerily similar to her old cult. I think it was called Prosperity. Or no, was it called Prosperity? Something, I can't remember. But basically, it fucking kicks fucking off. We get some twists and turns, and I felt like the ending was really, really good. I would definitely love to see this as a movie. I don't know if it will get adapted as one, but there are a ton of Darcy Coates books that I think absolutely 1000% should be turned into movies, because they're just that good. So, sorry, I know this ended up being longer than I thought it was going to be. Apologize, but that was good. Pretty much everything I've read so far is awesome, and I'm glad that I finally got to read a regular book, because I did say I wanted to incorporate those more, and that's why I forgot. But Feed will also, we're going to kick off starting this. I haven't read this since 2015, and I can't wait to get back into it. And we'll just read the back as the last thing. Alive or dead, the truth won't rest. My name is Georgia Mason, and I am begging you, rise up while you can. The year was 2014. We had cured cancer. We had beaten the common cold, but in doing so, we had created something new, something terrible that no one could stop. The infection spread, virus blocks taking over bodies and minds with one unstoppable command: feed. Now, 20 years after the rising, Georgia and Sean Mason are on the trail of the biggest story of their lives, the dark conspiracy behind the infected. The truth will out, even if it kills them. This, I'm telling you, I know that October's almost over, but it doesn't even have to be October. Read this at some point in your life. This whole trilogy is so freaking good. I cried so fucking hard at the end of this. I wailed, okay, just to pick up the second volume, just to pick up the second book. Oh, it was a fucking roller coaster ride. This was such a good series, so I'm glad that I'm going to be starting this again. But yeah, we're going to get into this. I also already downloaded the second volume of Summertime Rendering, which I also forgot to tell you guys about. That was actually really interesting. It's like a time loop trying to solve someone's murder or stop someone from being murdered. And I think it's really, really good. So I can't wait to get back into that one too. So we're going to have a lot to talk about before the video is over, but we're going to get it done. So I will see you guys in a second. All right, everybody, we're back for the end of the vlog. So I watched all of Talk to Me. It's like the second time I've seen it. Still scary, still extremely sad. So that was the movie that we watched while I was reading. And then I've decided that I want to start Crushology 101. I keep saying that I want to watch some K-dramas or just like any type of J-drama, C-drama, whatever, it doesn't matter. And I don't do it. So I need to really hunker down on that. But let's talk about the stuff I read. So I got to Sanctify Volume 1 first. I like this and I'm very intrigued, but I was very confused. It really felt like there should have been a prologue or something. Like you're just kind of like dropped into this thing, and certain conversations were happening that I felt like were happening so fast. It was like something was missing. And then I don't know if what we saw the blonde-haired man do to him, basically like a non-con rape type situation, I don't know if that's what he was thinking that he wanted to do to him, or he was really describing to the people that he had just assaulted him. That was very confusing, and I have no idea what to think about that. Like, I don't get what's really going on. Obviously, I have the second and the third volume, but this was interesting. I like I said, I'm interested to keep going, but I'm very confused. It feels like so much stuff is happening, and I can't describe it any better than that. Then I finally read the first volume of Death Note. So I watched this so many years ago. So while I remember like the gist of things, like there's certain things I don't quite remember, and it has been good to just start this over one more time, you know, because I do think Death Note is a really good series. But as someone who has only watched the anime previously and is now reading, like I remember being told after watching all of Death Note that the manga was better and so was the ending. So I'm really excited to actually see if that's the case. I trust my friends who have told me that, so I don't see why there would be a problem. And then lastly, let's talk about the manhwa I've read. Okay. So I can't open a lot of this stuff up because it's very explicit. And yeah, I don't even think I could open it up on the app. So Backlight is back. I'm really, really excited about that. If I remember correctly, we are still technically in the past. We have not seen the present, which was the very first, like, few panels from the first chapter, first episode, where Yeonwoo is like clearly beaten and walking in the rain. So yeah, I think that they're getting close to the point where they will start to actually talk to each other. I'm not sure though. It's really hard to tell, but eventually they have to start just expressing themselves and telling each other, oh, sorry, what's really going on. But it's still been very, very good. Okay, so I read Private Tutoring first, then went to Mysterious Farm, then went to Backlight, and then went to Yes Ma'am. But yeah, Backlight was good for the newest episode. Private Tutoring, absolutely 1,000 times. Round of applause to Private Tutoring, because oh my God. The thing about the main male character in this, and I'll put the picture up so I don't have to get all close to the shit. This man loves the fuck out of her. I mean, obsessed with her 1,000 times over. That's hot. Okay, period. Not that I think anybody who watches me doesn't know this, but if you're a dude, okay, and you're like, oh, I don't really know. Well, I would definitely say, don't take advice from another dude. Take advice from a woman or anyone other than a man to tell you what women would want, okay? Because when I tell you, I don't know a single woman. Now, it doesn't mean that they don't exist, but I don't know of a single woman who doesn't want to be yearned for, who doesn't want to be chased, but in a normal, safe way, okay? Not a creepy stalker way. I mean, women just want to be seen and heard and yearned for, okay? Loved unconditionally, girl. And that's exactly what Woojin is doing for her. I mean, he is obsessed with her in the best way. He is a certified eater. It's crazy what he's got going on. Well, what he's doing to her, it's fucking crazy, okay? And she's loving every second of it. And I'm just loving seeing them just like fall over each other just to like be close. Ugh, it's just perfect. Now, Mysterious Farm, what was that episode? What was that? Okay, what was going on there? Yeah, I'm not really sure. I actually don't have any words for that most recent episode. That was very shocking. And then, Yes Ma'am. Much like with Private Tutoring, I'm so obsessed. But for like, the opposite reason, right? Because, the thing with Private Tutoring is it's very like vanilla and, cishet, normie kind of stuff going on. I like it. I do like to read it, but the main female lead is like kind of, I mean, she was the virgin. She is naive, which can be a little obnoxious to see, but at the end of the day, like, she is the one who could technically be considered the more submissive, and not necessarily what I like to read personally when it comes to like straight dynamics. Yes Ma'am is exactly what I want to read, because their scenes together are just chef's fucking kiss, okay? This one, oh my God. Oh, oh my God. I wish that I didn't have to wait till next week to see the next volume, the next episode, because they're literally just about to passionately make out. But he is like so obsessed with her and wants her so bad, but he's the submissive one. Bitch. Yes. 1,000 times yes. Give it to me now. I need about 14 more of these, okay? I need 14 more of these. It's just too fucking good. She is now, and then, okay, and obviously they're going to be together. They're going to fall in love. I just know that that's what's going to happen, bitch. Okay, I just fucking know it. But the thing about it is that, like, he is he's doing his own little research to try to do things to please her, and then she's doing her own research to also be a better dom to him, because they're both, this is their first experience doing this type of dynamic, and they both want to be really, really good at it. And I really, really appreciate the fact that the main female lead is not sitting here like, I don't care. I had a bad situation with a guy. This is the kind of dynamic I want. I don't care how he feels. Like, I don't want her to be like the guy that, made her feel like she didn't, made her feel low, you know what I'm saying? Her ex. Like, I want her to be a far better version. He sucked. So, it's almost, anything's better than nothing, but I want her to be better than that. And I want her to truly care. Unfortunately, even though obviously they're going to be together, they're going to have a falling out. I'm sure that has to happen. So I'm not looking forward to that, but it is what it is. Now, there's something else I didn't catch up on. I didn't catch up on 18's bed. Should I read that really quick? No, I can read it. I can read it tomorrow. We can talk about it tomorrow. But something I did catch up on. 2020 is over. Okay, bitch. What the fuck was that ending? Little mini rant time. Okay. Obviously not ending not ending on a horror note, but it's still a reading vlog despite everything. Fuck you. Fuck you for that. But thank you for that. Okay. So, like, 2020, we had the time skip. It went forward. Okay. I actually didn't mind that. I did not care that we had like a year or so time skip where the main male lead is now in college. He's graduated high school finally. It doesn't seem to be like he's not going to be bothered by anybody anymore. He's not dealing with whatever the pink-haired guy was going through. But the fact that it was like, okay, we do a time skip and he hasn't seen fluffy hair this whole time. And then I guess it's his like summer break or something, and he's back with his grandma, and fluffy hair shows up, and he's like, I don't have the keys for the other place. Can I stay here? The grandma lets him, but she makes it so that the guys have to sleep together. And, our main male lead is like really not wanting to deal with that. He wants to just try to like cut it off and not do anything, because like he was left very broken and sad when, what's his face kind of just like up and left, and then he could never get a hold of him. Girl, it was just a lot, girl, a lot of drama. Just for it to literally end abruptly. Like, it was like, oh, male lead expresses like where he had this like feeling of like anxiety about people touching him. Apparently it didn't happen the night where he was okay. It actually makes sense though that he would have those feelings given everything that his father put him through, because his father was the one with the gambling debt. He has a son who obviously is very adorable, and he is not taking care of the debt and allowing these fucking dudes to like come around and then basically say like, I'm going to pimp your son out. Okay. I absolutely understand why you would develop anxiety, fear, name them all in that situation. So we find out that was, I guess, the origin of it, even though he is like, well, fluffy hair didn't make him feel that way. But then he like did the thing. And it's like, I don't know that I could forgive that, but okay, we just move on, whatever. This is how it's written, girl. I'm not saying I agree with it. Just for them to reunite, them fuck, and then everything's fine, and they're just together now? What happened to the pink hair dude? What happened to finding the drug dealer? and taking down the fucking drugs and shit, and infiltrating the shit, and the fucking what did we see all that for? Because I mean, that was actually really interesting. Like, I like the dynamic of their relationship, I do, but it was really interesting that he was like an well, okay, so here's a spoiler. So, flashing hands. Basically, Fluffy Hair was an undercover cop, basically, and he was trying to infiltrate this gang that was also a drug pushing gang, basically. And he is trying. That's how he gets wrapped up with the pink-haired guy who's in the same school as our main male lead. And we find out that the pink-haired guy works to sell these drugs for the main dude, whatever. And when shit pops off and pink-haired and male lead get kidnapped by like rivals or whatever, and Fluffy Hair has to save them, like, we don't actually ever find out, did he successfully do anything? Did he successfully make anything happen? Did he successfully take anything down? Is he still a cop? What happened to the two guys who were with him that were his goons? Like, are they in jail? Like, I would love to know about them because they were really nice. Were they also undercover cops? I don't know. And then we just move on. So that was just very anticlimactic. It was just sad that was what was going on. But, what the fuck? I didn't write the shit. So what can you do? At least there was an ending. I'll give you that. But I will also say, before I forget, oh man, let me tell you something, dude. I caught up on, let's see. Oh gosh, and I started this. Okay, I will say this. So I started, because a bunch of the episodes are free. Yeah. Oh, well, that's right. So I read the first 5 episodes of Kaylin's Vengeance and the Fox's Redemption. This was really cute so far. I really, really enjoyed it. So I might pick that up and start unlocking more of the chapters. But let's look at my library so I can remember what the fucking title of this is. That's right. Okay, so I've caught up on The Sacred Life of a Webcomic Artist. This newest episode that came out on Sunday, damn, I really like where this is going, although I wish I didn't have to wait week to week, girl. I wish it was already done because it's just too much. But, this whole thing is about a woman who had a successful webcomic many, many years ago about her relationship ending and all the things that she wanted to say to her ex. She ends up being kind of forced proximity with her ex because he now is becoming a webtoon creator. And through a bunch of crazy shit, she ends up writing a new webcomic that's a continuation to the final one, to her first one, where her characters are basically her and her ex, basically, and they end up together in this new webcomic. But through a bunch of other stuff, like, she's got to change her most recent chapter if she wants to be number one. And she realizes that she hasn't really consumed any other people's work. So her own work is very stagnant and it hasn't really moved forward at all. So she finally gives in and starts reading other people's stuff, specifically her rival's work, and it turns her on. And then we get a call back to the fact that I forgot that when, like, she's been a horny fucker like her whole life apparently. So then she finally just like starts to flick the bean, y'all, to some of this work. She's like, inspiration. I mean, she literally had nutspiration. Okay. She had that. A whole new world type shit. Okay. And I'm here for it. So get into this. Okay. Unfortunately, you'll be like me and you'll also be waiting, but this is so good. And y'all remember, I was a fucking mess when I was talking about this. I didn't even get to show you guys my first reaction, because I remember recording my first reaction after sending 3 different voice notes to my sister, my friend Kimsey, and my friend Toria, crying, so fucking emotional about this fucking story. And then when I went to talk about it, I was so exhausted because I'd already talked about it for probably a total of an hour, combining all of the voice notes I sent these people. I was just emotionally drained. It was a nightmare. Okay, I didn't even show you guys that. That was funny to watch back, but I couldn't even put it in because it was just rambling for nonsense, okay? But get into this. Get into The Sacred Life of a Webcomic Artist is so good. I really, really recommend it. I wish it was done so I could say, yes, this is 5 million stars, but I already feel like it's 5 million stars. But anyway, I know I'm going a little bit over and I wanted to make these short, so thank you guys so much. We're not going to do like a wrap up of everything I read because it's really not that much when I'm really sitting down thinking about it, Of the physical stuff I read, it was Death Note, Sanctify, Kiss Something, Can't Stop Cursing You, The Strange House. That was really it. But then a bunch of the stuff was digital. And I think I had a really good, successful little situation. So it was a good end to week 2 of all of this, of October reading vlog, mostly spooky, where we're really trucking along. I'm trying not to add anything extra. I've been somewhat successful. So thank you so much for watching my video. If you like the video, please like the video. If you like it, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and follow me on other social media. It's in the description box down below. And you have a good day. Goodbye.